Hey everyone, thank you for being here. Much love to each and every single one of you. Let me just... There we go. This is a video in regards to people seeing things in my videos, people seeing things in their videos, people noticing things around them, what this could be or who this could be. Pretty much it's in little sections that I've written some information on who or what it could be. Let me know what you think. We all perceive things differently, we all see things differently, we all experience things differently, so it's always handy to hear back. It's also good if we're communicating about our experiences, because then it makes it more tangible for each and every single one of us, and the more that we do that, the more that the energy is going to build upon itself. I like to call it collective energy momentum. That's what I like to call it. However, you might just call it momentum, I suppose. Much love to you. I'm just going to get on. Who or what I invite in personally. So if you see someone in my video. My higher self, my relatives, angels, archangels, teachers, guides and sages, Gaia, source, my spirit team, elementals or fairies or fae, dragons, ETs from my galactic family or my lineage, and any benevolent beings. Now, what you will find is if you're always putting up protection, you may hold back certain entities, because you may not be stipulating how permeable the protection is. So if you've just put up protection, then you could be protecting from all sorts, not just one way or the other. How things are seen on camera from higher dimensions. Now remember, I'm in my dimension. The device is technically in my dimension, but it's not in my consciousness is dimension. But you're also seeing it in your dimension. We are separate in the sense that we are not in the same physicality, but there's a difference between this area, the area of the phone, and the area that you reside in. So maybe it could be something to do with that. All dimensions are in one. There is no time or space. For the last 2 years I've sat in this room and I've dedicated each and every single day, every spare moment, to learning about spiritual stuff, researching spiritual stuff, practicing spiritual techniques. I have no fear, I have no resistance. I sit for most of my spare time with the light off, and I'm sitting and interacting with entities that are floating in, out, sometimes shake it all about. Now, it could be down to the fact that I'm a dual soul, so I kind of attract different types of beings. However, I don't know. Like I said, I've had no outwardly negative spiritual experiences. Yes, I've had negative dreams, but when you're sleeping, you are completely free of resistance. That's why when you die, or pass on, or move on, you are giving up resistance totally. So sleep is a mini version of that. Now, being a dual soul with a dual body, I have the ability to see myself from different perspectives at the same time. So maybe that could be a factor in it. I can watch myself watching myself, that kind of thing. A little sentence here, I suppose. Time plus energy plus intent equals manifestation. So it could be to do with that. We're both on the same wavelength if we're watching the same video, or if I'm making the video. So maybe there's some kind of manifestation going on because of that. As time goes on from the 3D, the energy and the intention grow. Devices are physical, non-alive technology, but they do have consciousness, so they are aware to some extent. When something is watched back and seen on camera, there's generally slip through or seepage. But sometimes if you're having a thought form might pop out and somebody might see that. Or same with if you're seeing an entity, it could just be a thought form that you've just had or just created. Because all are energy, all are thoughts, then experiences. Or it could be somebody making themselves known on camera on purpose. Somebody could be saying, hey, we're here. If you have, like for the last few days I've been listening to The Eternal Validity of the Soul again by Jane Roberts, channeling Seth. And just like with some of the images that I've shown on like my Instagram, that kind of thing, there's little holes, just like in between your skin cells, there are little holes. Now these holes allow things to travel through. You don't know where the other side of the holes are leading, so when someone's popping up their head, it could be they've just popped their head through one of these fish holes to see what's going on, and maybe that's what you saw. I generally invite only specific beings. If other beings are here, then I say they can remain, but only if they're positive. I said I will not acknowledge anyone else. I have been known to block, reject, ignore, protect, and even blast and send through portals different beings that I have believed have been negative. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying blast everything. I'm not saying that whatsoever. But you cannot show that you're scared, and I never have. That's why I have this deep knowing that I was somehow already doing this, or I already knew that I was supposed to be doing something like this, because I don't have that same kind of fear. I don't have that at all. Like I said, I went from human to this in one night. So it was just as much a shock to me as it is hearing it. If I am here and you are there, and we both create our reality, then when someone sees something within mine, it would mean that our frequencies have matched up or are similar, or I wouldn't exist within your observer reality. Being an old soul with dual bodies activated means I constantly move between dimensions, at will or otherwise. I don't have blocks, nor do I have resistance. Fears and concerns. I don't have any fear. I mean, the first 2 years of my life being beaten to a pulp, that did help in a sense. I mean, I'm gonna say it helped me get rid of the fear, the resistance to change. I'm very adaptable. I'm very curious and imaginative because I didn't have the same things that other people had. From day one, I have been a seer as well, so they know full well that I can see. I've told them each and every single night for the last 2 years, hello, I can see you, and they just kind of smile and drift, and I say they waft. That's my little loving gesture to them, so they know that I know. To write, to film, or to talk, or even move, is to change my frequency. It's not at a constant level, or I would phase out of this reality. I don't have any fear of death, any beings, any matrix or shadow people, any entities. Like, I have nothing to be fearful of. I've had visits to heaven, so I don't have that kind of fear, so maybe that is part of it. There's no such thing as polarity or negativity when you're outside of the matrix. They're all just variants of the same thing. Healing and seeing involves travel. When I touch to heal or I can see, I'm using my spiritual eyes or spiritual hands to move from my physical body through time and space into another reality, ahead of time, before or after. Scientists have instruments that can spot this. What is called ghosts or thought forms. This is what they would see if they filmed me in a room and I left my body. They would see that leave. They've got the instruments for that. The words I say are translated by you, so even though I am saying them now, I wrote them in the past to be heard in the future. So that could be another thing, because time doesn't exist. So where I was filming in the past and then you saw it in the future, then it's an interdimensional thing outside of time and space. The reasons I believe you may see things in my videos are deliberate action from an entity, frequency matchup. I see at all times my energy has to adjust just to film. Similar wavelength. My voice is an activator, my energy is an activator. Regardless of the videos, I still do my spiritual work, so I'm always drawing energies and entities in. There could be some kind of frame compression malfunction, but I have actually looked back and I've seen the face that you're on about, so I know that it's there as well. Device malfunction. Now again, I'm using a lot of energy, you're probably using a lot of energy, this is probably what's helping. So some kind of spiritual connection going on there. Device interpretation of energy. Now the energy cannot read like we can, the energy cannot see like we can, it cannot perceive like we can. So that is my list of reasons as to why you may see things in my videos, or you may experience things in my videos, or you may experience effects from my videos. I didn't know I was an activator, like a voice activator person, until I watched one of Alba Weinman's videos, and a lady in there who was under hypnosis, she said those people who are watching this who are going to know will know now. And I knew, like, even before she said that, as soon as I played the video, my heart just increased and it's gone from there. Anyway, thank you for being here. Much love to each and every single one of you. I'm going to be back in a little bit with a video about the ascension symptoms that I have noticed, both personally and as a collective and as a global community. Lots of symptoms and things we can look out for, or things that I have noticed or experienced. Much love to each and every single one of you. Thank you for joining me, and I will be back in a bit.